Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Daily Crypto Byte. Big news coming out of the jobless reports today, actually missing expectations. I think they were totaled about 419,000, and that was above the 350,000 estimates in terms of jobs. So, going to be interesting, but markets are kind of flat this morning off of that news. So, aside from that, gentlemen, how you doing?
Doing well. Like you say, 2 days of strong performance, Tuesday and Wednesday, out of the stock market. Yesterday, the cryptos came back to life, and still moving up today. In the last 24 hours, according to our friends at CoinMarketCap, we got Ethereum up 4.5% or 3.8%, Bitcoin up 1.8%. Binance up 2.3%, trading 293.20. So, it doesn't feel so bad. Seeing us maybe make a move towards 34,000, CJ and Monty. Certainly a lot better than when we were testing down to CJ's levels at that 28,000-ish, even though we never broke 29. But getting down towards that was a little more upsetting than 32,057 is today.
Yeah, and yesterday, we had that big B-word event, and I thought it was actually pretty productive. I mean, Elon was a little bit out there, as he tends to be, but I thought Cathie Wood was terrific. And Jack Dorsey, still embodies that original Bitcoin ethos, and I thought that was pretty cool to see. But, all said, like, at the end of the day, it was very productive, and it seems like, it seems like it was a good step forward for Bitcoin. I was pretty impressed to hear that, or surprised, I guess, to hear that Elon holds Ethereum. I knew he held Bitcoin and Doge, but to hear he held Ethereum was pretty surprising. But any thoughts about that event or any takeaways you guys have regarding that?
Square. You're 100% right that Dorsey did pretty much what we thought he would do. Dorsey and Cathie Wood are huge proponents, and Elon Musk has just been kind of floating out there with this FUD, and probably somewhat frustrated by the other two billionaires beating him into space. Maybe he'll actually go into real space rather than suborbital and so forth. We'll have to see. His rockets have done that. They've gotten up to the International Space Station and so forth. But we'll see whether or not he does that. But how about the outfit on Dorsey yesterday, guys? You weren't creeped out by that at all, Monty?
I mean, it's Jack Dorsey. What can you really expect, John? We had some comments in our chat saying that he's calling in live from the grow house in Africa.
I mean, for the love of God, the guy has shaved his head and has a beard that might be 6 or 8 inches long, and looks like Ming the Merciless. He's wearing this gold lame outfit. I don't know what, the three main folks, Dorsey, Musk, and Wood, were not on the stage together, folks. They were all remote. And they were being asked questions by somebody else who was remote. And much like this show, they would have them in boxes, and whoever was speaking would actually pop up into the biggest box. You guys have kind of seen how a lot of these remote conferences work. But when Jack is sitting there in some sort of a gold looking, now, in all candor, it could have been like a bright yellow t-shirt, but it looked like it was gold lame, like some really odd, maybe a Hare Krishna would wear or something like that. But on the other hand, like you say, he did, he walks the walk, he talks the talk, and he was certainly very upfront and open about how bullish he is on Bitcoin in particular, and so was Cathie Wood.
It was really interesting to hear Cathie talk about remittances and countries like El Salvador and how dependent they can become on remittances as a portion of their GDP. I thought the one statistic that was really interesting that she mentioned was that, certain countries like El Salvador are dependent on remittances for about 30% of GDP, and it's turned into essentially a $700 billion industry. And so Bitcoin definitely has a role to play in that, not only from an investor perspective, but a humanitarian perspective. So it was always nice to get kind of a refresher of those concepts for maybe those who are coming into Bitcoin, in 2021 or a bit new. So overall, not a whole lot to take away from it, but two very intelligent individuals talking about Bitcoin. So
Yeah, I thought the dialogue regarding ESG and environmentally friendly Bitcoin mining was somewhat productive, and I think we can use that to segue into a question from one of our viewers, Aaron. He says, "Please talk about Bitcoin miners today," and he mentioned specifically bit farms. And we've been talking a lot about miners. CJ has referenced the hash rate chart as a sign that miners are coming back online after that great migration from China, and we've seen a few companies planning to go public. So like you mentioned, Bitfarms is one. They're a Toronto-based mining company. They recently went public on the New York Stock Exchange. And another one that is going public soon is Argo Blockchain as well. So we're seeing a lot of blockchain companies go public that are based in the Western Hemisphere, based in North America. Bitfarms, like you pointed out, they are the largest miner in North America. There are some very massive miners that are now putting their hash power in the Western Hemisphere. We have, Mara, Riot, Bitfarms, Argo, and Bob or Bobo points out here, Hive Technologies, HVBT, is clean energy. That is also another, publicly traded one that has been performing well also. So people, have been looking to these mining stocks right now, and I think that makes a lot of sense. CJ, you mentioned that great migration when China kind of banned Bitcoin mining and what that has meant for the network. But also, it's kind of been interesting to see what it's meant for these crypto-related equities and how we've seen more and more of them continue to pop up over the last month or so. But I just want to ask you, CJ, what are you seeing in terms of Bitcoin hash rate? Anything worth noting? Are we seeing more miners coming back online?
yes, that's continually been the trend ever since the great mining migration. And we've actually seen miners also switch from distribution to accumulation in terms of their sell pressure, their costs. So everything that we're seeing on chain, whether it be hash power, whether it be kind of miner sell pressure, it reflects the fact that there's been a pretty successful migration. Like I mentioned, there's more hash power coming back on, less need for those Bitcoin miners to sell Bitcoin to relocate. So that's definitely taken a lot of sell pressure on the market that was forced upon it, when we were in the high 30s and low 40,000s. So that's pretty interesting. One chart I would love to show as well, not to do with hash power, but it has to do with kind of short-term holders and their profitability. And this is a chart that we've shown before from Glassnode.
About to take a look at the SOPR.
Yes. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So the takeaway from this one is that, if you were to look at this similar to, like an RSI metric or something like that, where you have an overbought and an oversold territory, you can see on our bottom half here, we have a lot of short-term holders who are holding losses and are, capitulating or very close to capitulating. And so in my mind, how you play this is that getting to the green zone in and of itself is not enough. Like, we've been looking at this chart for a while, and we've been in this green oversold zone for quite a while as well. What I want to see reflected in this to show strength in the market and potential recovery is a break back out of the the oversold level. If we get out of here and show that people are regaining some of those losses, I think then we can call one of these zones a high probability recovery, because until we have a rebound from that level, especially with the short-term holders, it's still kind of just providing convergence of the existing trend. It's still going down. We need to see a rebound on high volume from that. So interesting chart. I just thought I'd show there coming off of the Glassnode report this week.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. John, we have a question for you in the comments as well. Oh, not this one. Excuse me. This one from Silverheart. He says, John, do you own any Chainlink? Would love to know.
Let me check right now because I think I do, but I want to make sure. Take me one sec here. Let's see. Chainlink. Yes, I do. I own LINK, which is presently trading at 1528. And I own a little over 700 Chainlink tokens.
There you have it.
Dr. I probably bought it because of one of you guys.
Oh yeah. I'm a big fan of Link. I've been holding it for a long time. I'm still holding some of it, and I think that over the next market cycle, that's going to be one of the best performers. We have a portion of our macro portfolio allocated towards it as well, so definitely believe in Link.
Let's see. I know that we've seen, and talked about, guys, the move back up over 32,000 by Bitcoin, and a number of other, the altcoins have made nice rebounds as well, including Ripple, which I was pretty harsh to. So Ether and Ripple were both up more than Bitcoin was yesterday. I don't think that'll continue in the case of Ether, but XRP, that's just pure speculative activity in that one, because again, it could get shut down depending what Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, does as far as if they accept a penalty or whether they fight this to the bitter end. That'll remain to be seen, but that's one that I don't own any of. I have traded it, but I don't own any XRP.
Yeah, I was just checking on some of my popular brokerage crypto apps, still not tradable in the United States. Of course, that doesn't mean you can't get XRP from things such as MetaMask or external swaps. But, it's still facing that regulatory battle, like you mentioned, John. So I've never been a big proponent of XRP. I've never really held it. I've never found any place to stake it for interest. So it just, if anything I could compare it to, I think XLM is getting ahead of XRP and is doing better developments at this particular time. After all, it was a fork of XRP to begin with.
CJ, I'm very glad you mentioned XLM because XLM is actually tearing it up right now. And I think that's a great example of kind of trading in the divergence of this market. We were talking about this yesterday, right? And how we're kind of seeing some divergences from the smooth moving average and also with the TD sequential indicator as well. Assets that, didn't get a TD sequential buy 9 here seemed like they were almost like a few days behind in terms of price action with a lot of the other assets. So look what we're seeing here with XLM. This is yesterday's candle. A lot of the other assets like ETH, like Bitcoin, if you look at that chart, they moved up to this moving average and already met with it yesterday. And this is where they hit resistance. XLM didn't make that move yesterday. It, still was showing a strong negative divergence from the moving average. And because of that, we mentioned it as a possible strong mover today. Sure enough, we're getting a strong move. It's kind of coming into parity with the rest of the market and meeting up with this smooth moving average. Also, there is some news coming out of XLM as well, and it hit yesterday. Here, I'll share this from Brad. He just threw it in the comments. XLM news yesterday. They're looking to buy MoneyGram, which would be a massive purchase. This is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. And like CJ is pointing out, XLM and XRP and their utility has largely been brought into question over the last few years. So I think XLM making a move and a partnership or purchase of MoneyGram, whatever it may be, I think is actually a good move. And the market seems to agree as it's responding pretty strongly.
And this is so weird because XRP partnered with MoneyGram and it was not good for MoneyGram.
Yeah,
it was a bad partnership, but that's very interesting. They're following in their footsteps in that regard.
Just one more to throw out there, guys. India's central bank is supposedly looking to roll out a phased rollout of digital currency. I'm sure regular viewers have heard us talk about how India's been really, full stop trying to keep people from investing in and trading Bitcoin and so forth. But now they're, of course, talking about trying to roll out their own digital central bank currency. That'll be something that we'll keep our eye on, certainly something that the more adoption you see of major economies like that, that would obviously be one of the largest to do so if it does it. That'll be pretty huge news. And Bloomberg's reporting that. This is not like just some random post on the internet.
Yeah, that's definitely big news, John. And I think that's going to be a trend that we're going to start seeing more and more of in the coming years. Governments looking to issue these central bank digital currencies. There were talks that the European Union was looking to do the same thing. And, if we had them doing it and India doing it, that could have, tremendous implications on cryptocurrency market and also global monetary policy in general. So that is undoubtedly big news. But CJ, I want to toss this question to you because I know you're a bit of a Aave fan. You're always looking at those charts. You're always watching, seeing what's going on with Aave. So Mr. Kren in the YouTube chat asked, thoughts on Aave? Oh, you're muted, my friend.
Sorry, I got that construction again, so I gotta be cautious. Yeah, I'd love to take a look at Aave. I really like it. It's been one of those that has actually really rallied strong off of this minor bounce that we've gotten. So take a look at that. So as you can see, a nice series of higher lows here on Aave. We're actually just coming back to that moving average. So I always am interested to see how price reacts when it comes back to the moving average. Usually I like to wait and see, if price pulls off of it or if the bulls have enough conviction to actually break through. I think there's going to be a lot of resistance at this level at about, 320. Anywhere from about 300 to 320 is going to be a very strong resistance channel, but I like it. I like the fact that we have a bullish engulfing candle at the bottom of a downtrend, and we have a series of two higher lows in a row with a nice turn up in the RSI as well. So I do like Aave in the short term. I guess I will lead this into my Doge of the day since I'm already sharing screen. But one I want to talk about, I talked about Matic yesterday, which was really interesting. I love this again with kind of the engulfing candle at the bottom of the downtrend, and then you can kind of see that leading back up to the moving average. So I like to pick something kind of like Matic or even Uniswap here that have kind of bullish engulfing candles, but have wide divergences from the moving average. So they kind of have to catch up a little bit. And as you can see, really not a lot of overhead resistance here. So Matic and Uni are going to be my picks for that time being. I still like Aave. I just think it's hitting some critical resistance levels in the short term. So I want to see how it reacts off of those levels before getting in or out.
Oh, well, CJ, thank you for covering my Doge of the day as well today, because I was looking at Uni. Not surprising because, we're looking at pretty much the same technical factors here. But I just want to echo what your sentiment was, because, these two factors right here are things that I've been looking at over the last few months and kind of been able to profitably trade this downtrend using this 20-period smooth moving average. But, CJ pointed out this bullish engulfing candle, wide divergence from the moving average, TD sequential buy 9, and also, just a general divergence from the rest of the market where most assets kind of made this move back up. This one's still lingering down here. And I do think there is a strong likelihood that it can make this move up. It's back above this, newly established critical level. And I think that, there is the possibility of even a break above this level. So I could see, I'm actually going to go ahead after the show. I'm going to place a trade with the goal of exiting just below this moving average, perhaps about 18.95 is where I'll plan to exit. And if we continue and break through this, I wouldn't be afraid to enter a second leg of a long trade here and perhaps try and ride this thing to 23.46, because there aren't too many assets left that are showing this sort of divergence from the moving average. And like CJ pointed out, they tend to correct and find parity with the rest of the market. So that is my Doge of the day today, Uni.
I'll throw one out as well. This is one that's seen a serious ramp in volume, even though it's not, it's not the high volume guys. It is Leo, like the lion, Leo, Unis, UNUS. Leo is the acronym, and it's about a $2.55 number. Leading into yesterday, the 21st, it had peaked, I think, on Tuesday at about $3.17. It had a pretty nasty sell-off that carried it down here to this 250 level, where it's bounced a couple times in the last maybe 2 or 3 hours. So look at it. If you want to try to get a trade out of it, trades on Bitfinex, trades on FTX, and this is one that's seeing the volume's up 24% on FTX and up about 33% on Bitfinex. So take a look at that one today as my Doge of the day. Leo.
Very nice. Before we wrap things up today, I do want to hit a question from one of our viewers, Bob Monty, if you could please bring that one up. So, thoughts on this relief move being a fake or being a head fake, or have things settled in your opinion? Good question.
Yeah, for me, I think it's a head fake. We had that B word event yesterday. I think some retail capital tried to front run that event. I think we're still trending down until we put in a higher high. We're still just, in a downtrend. And I think that hasn't changed. If you look at the charts, we're still in these descending triangles. So for me, this positive price action was nothing more than a head fake.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, right? I think that the critical levels, namely being 33 and 34K, tell the story. That's the line in the sand for me. If we can get above those levels and settle, then that's very promising. But until that occurs, the bulls really have their work cut out for them. And I can't rule out levels like 25 or 27K until we create a macro high or low above, 33 or 34K. So I'm with Monty, head fake until we see that confirmation.
All right. Well, remember, guys, Voyager, which shares of Voyager had just been smashed as everybody from Coinbase on was smashed as they came down from, more or less trailing or trading right along with Bitcoin and the entire crypto ecosystem. It made a very nice recovery over the past 48 hours. It was up. I want to say Voyager was up like 20% yesterday. It's up 0.5% today. It's trading at about 1284. They are the sponsor of this show. They also have a token, VGX. You can get $25 in Bitcoin just for signing up with the code REBEL25. So if you'd like to sign up, if you're finally starting to dip your toe in, or if you're unhappy with your broker and not happy about paying lots of commissions, they're commission-free brokerage, and they pay you a lot on deposited crypto. That is Voyager Digital. Check them out and use the code REBEL25.
I wanted to withdraw some Bitcoin from Voyager yesterday to send to Uphold so I could get some Chia, and the withdrawal took like less than 5 minutes. I was amazed at how quick it was. So great to see. Always love people at Voyager. So thank you for that.
Also, I saw Simon Yu from StormX tweeting this morning. He's like, wait, you can really get, 5.5% interest by just holding Bitcoin on Voyager? Yes, Simon. Yes, you can. So you can go check out Voyager and, earn some interest during a ranging market. It's always good. And as always, if you want to check out the crypto trading room, hang out with me and CJ for a bit, you can try your first month for just $1 at the link right below me, marketrebellion.com/try crypto. We got a pro charting service, 24/7 chat with community of traders from all around the world. We publish actionable trade insights with entries, exits, stop losses, news articles, and we have an ever-expanding education curriculum. CJ most recently added a momentum course that was on the back of an entire TA revamp. So definitely go check that out. You can get access to all of that for just $1 for the first month, and that is at marketrebellion.com/try crypto. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you again tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day and take care.